Now, failed New York Governor Cuomo is embroiled in what now looks like a massive, huge cover-up scandal. Things are getting worse daily surrounding the COVID nursing home deaths in New York State, because according to a brand new explosive report from the state of New York's Democratic Attorney General, the state massively underreported the number of deaths inside these long-term care facilities in bombshell findings that also reference the governor's infamous March order forcing nursing homes to take COVID-positive patients. Now, that report did conclude that there was up to a 50% undercount in nursing home deaths, and also found insufficient PPE supplies and a lack of COVID testing, which put patients at an increased risk. Remember, the governor ignored his own health care task force in 2015. They said you're going to have to buy 15,783 ventilators. They bought none. That happened as well. All of this sound like leadership. Now that we're bragging about our leadership and trashing Trump every day and writing a book about such, someone receiving an Emmy on top of everything else. Now, New York's governor needs to take responsibility for the failures under his watch and his inaction. Now, the sad lack of action in hospitals. If you remember, Donald Trump built the 3,000-bed Javits Center, other hospitals, sent his Navy hospital ship. He not only built the hospitals, manned the hospitals, stocked the hospitals, all the PPE, all the ventilators that New York could ever use, and those beds were left 75% empty. It's not like we didn't have a place to send people that was COVID ready. Help was provided. The governor even called the nursing home scandal a conspiracy. Blame the nursing home owners. They want the money. And then lashing out, if all things else fail, blame Trump. I don't believe, by the way, for the record, I don't believe the governor did this intentionally. A lot of people made a lot of bad decisions. A lot of so-called experts, they were proven wrong again and again and again and again and again. And by the way, but lashing out at nursing home owners and blaming Donald Trump, who did everything possible to save New York, that is unfair. Now, it's time to simply, for the governor to apologize to the families who lost loved ones. Help those families out, which is appropriate. They should be taken care of. Learn from the mistakes made. Prepare for the next possible pandemic. Institute new policies to make sure that this will never happen again. In a city with such a high concentration of people like New York City, they should have been prepared. The people of the state of New York deserve so much better. And by the way, states that elect governors and elected officials that balance their budgets and pay down their pensions should not be forced to have their tax dollars bailing out New York. Anyway, here with reaction, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is with us. Congresswoman, your thoughts on this?
Sean, this is so much more than a nursing home scandal. This is a massive corruption scandal at the highest level of New York State government. We know that the March edict that the governor put in place, Governor Cuomo, forced nursing homes to take positive COVID patients, which put at risk our most vulnerable constituents in New York State. There have been advocates who have lost loved ones who have been asking for answers, accountability, and transparency. And at every turn, the governor and his staff have smeared those individuals. One of the most notable and most effective advocates is Janice Dean, and they have belittled her each and every day, going so far as calling these family advocates part of a death cult. Finally, today is the first step towards justice. We need to get answers and issue subpoenas immediately against the governor, the commissioner of health in New York State, Dr. Zucker, and his senior staff, because the corruption is the cover-up. They knew this number, and yet they refused to be transparent with New Yorkers. But what was most heartless is they weren't transparent with those that have lost loved ones.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't know. Look, we all got a lot of bad information. You know, I know Anthony Fauci, I think his heart was in the right place. Don't wear masks, wear masks. All the projections were wrong. All the advice was wrong. Then wear masks. Now he said this week, wear 2 masks. Okay, now he's on his I Hate Donald Trump tour when he should be focused on his job as the highest paid government employee. Will they learn from this? And what do they do for the families that lost loved ones? These families deserve help.
They deserve answers, and the way to get answers is to issue subpoenas. Both Democrats and Republicans in the state Senate and state assembly are finally coming together to issue subpoenas. We also need to continue the independent investigation at the federal level with the Department of Justice. These families deserve accountability, and we need to make sure this never happens again.
I got to let you go. Thank you for being with us. More Hannity.